Nightfall in downtown Milwaukee, where we are set for a second round showdown between the 3 seed in the East and legitimate national championship contender Purdue taking on the at-large Texas out of the Big 12. But look at where these two teams sit. The winner on to Philadelphia, where St. Peter's, the Cinderella Peacocks, await in the Sweet 16. And hi everyone, welcome back here courtside in Milwaukee alongside Debbie Antonelli. I'm Spiro Ditas. We will hear from AJ Ross in just a couple of seconds. Let's start with Texas. What a first season for Chris Beard, the UT alum, back home, and they are certainly ahead of schedule. Got them their first tournament win the other night in 8 years.
You know what, Spiro, this is a disciplined, dependable defense that brought balance to the offensive end in their win over Virginia Tech. 5 guys in double figures. They shot 64% in the second half. Now, if they can put their offense together consistently with that dictating defense, this is going to be a tough knockout for Purdue.
Let's take a look at the starters. This is a Purdue team that was in the AP top 10 all season long. They finished in that 10 slot. Jaden Ivey, the sophomore sensation, one of the most electrifying players in the country. In the meantime, Marcus Carr, who has battled through some offensive issues at times this season, was sensational the other night. There's Matt Painter. Put him right up there with some of the very brightest coaches in the sport. 13th NCAA tournament appearance in his 17 years in West Lafayette.
It's
and
an
now
elite,
second all-time wins behind his mentor, Gene Cady.
An elite level offense, Purdue, with size up front and the speed of Jaden Ivey in the backcourt. One of the best in their efficiency numbers, according to Ken Pom. This is an outstanding Purdue offensive team.
4th all-time meeting between these two schools in the NCAA tournament, with Texas leading the all-time series 2-1. This is Gillis. Hunter around the screen. And suffocating Texas defense. How does Purdue handle? 80 turn back. What a start, what a play by Christian Bishop. Well, you don't see that very often. Here's Andrew Jones. Was awesome the other night in their first round victory, but misses on his first take.
Zach Edey, 7'4".
Hunter from deep. Fight for the rebound. Edey had it, stripped. They make you work for everything. Basketball belongs to Texas. Contact underneath.
I mean, it's a two-handed rebound, and it's a strip down low by Andrew Jones.
So the early whistle on Edey. Matt Painter wants to protect his starting big, so Trevion Williams will come in. That's a luxury that not many coaches have.
I mean, they split 20 minutes almost exactly, and they both combine for solid numbers. A double-double on the inside of that 5 position.
Here's Marcus Carr, off-balance floater, contact, and free throws. Carr, 15 points and a season-high 9 assists the other night. Debbie had just 1 turnover in that game against Virginia Tech.
Marcus Carr knows that Purdue in the middle third is in drop coverage. And he puts Hunter in jail, keeps him on his hip, and draws that foul.
First free throw is no good. Carr, senior from Toronto, double transfer. First year in Austin, one of the higher profile transfers, certainly in the Big 12 last offseason. And despite some growing pains with the transition, all Big 12 third-team performer. It's not easy to do, Debbie, for a kid playing in that rugged Big 12 for the first time.
Boy, he shot it really well, and so did Andrew Jones. They combined to make 8 of their 10 threes in that win over Virginia Tech.
Travion Williams, one of the best passing bigs we've seen in a number of years. Gillis on the deck. Bishop, nearly the steal. Williams gets it back.
Now, Travion Williams is a different kind of post player than Edey. You can throw it to the rim, but Williams is a great facilitator of their offense as well. A very good passer.
Boy, Bishop won't get a better look than that. Offensive rebound, Ramey. Shot clock resets to 20. Carr elevates. These are two physical teams up front. Whoever can win the rebounding edge will be a big factor. Stefanovic, he's been cold over the last couple of weeks.
I mean, that's a great find in transition by Jaden Ivey on the opposite side of the floor.
Jones hounded by Hunter. Weak side, it's Carr. Still plenty of time to shoot. Bishop. Carr against Ivey. Off the bounce. Bishop coming with some smoke. Good start for Bishop as the Longhorns get their first bucket. Williams facing up on Bishop. Shot clock down to 10. Williams, tough hook, puts it down. What a shot by Williams.
Yeah, they're not going to bring a double to him. He's going to have an opportunity to go one-on-one, showcasing his go-to move over that left shoulder.
Williams last season, honorable mention, all AP, and also all Big Ten performer as a first-team selection. Ramey the kick. This is Jones. Back rim, up and in.
Texas doing a really good job moving the ball. Then there's a steal.
Ramey off the theft. Boy, had an open look, kicks out to Carr. Splash! And how about this start for Texas? Again, Debbie, when Carr can shoot the way he did the other night here at the start, it's been a different Texas team. Here's Williams backing down Bishop, drop stepping, making it look easy.
Again, all day right there on that left block. Travion Williams, so if you bring two, he's a capable passer. Bishop's going to have to defend him one-on-one.
All 6 of Purdue's points have come from Trevion Williams. Ramey, that's good. Officials say it's a 2-point field goal. They will review at the next opportunity.
Watch Courtney Ramey, number 3 for Texas, guarding Jaden Ivey.
So apparently they gave him a 3, so it's a 6-point lead. Here's Williams off the box. What a pass! Exquisite from Williams.
Come on.
$15 and change left. Underneath, what a pass. Allen trying to locate Bishop. Bishop turned aside, somehow able to save. Out to Jones, they'll reset, 13 on the timer. Carr wants to take Hunter. One of the elite perimeter defenders in the Big Ten, but Carr just has too much.
Carr does such a great job of taking his defender below the level of the screen and then coming back to his right hand to go down the lane line.
Marcus Carr, 2 of 3, and Texas 5 of their first 9. Stefanovic is fouled in the act. Deep in that right corner. And it will be Sasha Stefanovic to the line for 3 when we come back. Texas and Purdue on the big stage here in Milwaukee. All right, Adam, great finish there. What a run potentially it could be for Notre Dame. Could they keep the string of first 4 teams alive, making deep runs through March?
ACC doing very well in the tournament, by the way.
Debbie, it's interesting. So much talk this year about the ACC maybe being down potentially. Right. Carolina's struggles, of course, before they're stepping onto the big stage here in March.
I saw North Carolina. I had the game when they lost to Miami. They were down 27 at the half. But I also saw them when they went into Cameron and beat Duke. Duke and North Carolina both advancing out of the ACC. Notre Dame and Miami still playing right now.
Big free throws for Stefanovic. Desperately need him to find his offensive stroke. Top 10 all-time three-point shooter in Purdue history. And he's cut the Texas lead down to 4.
I like this offensive package where Chris Beard goes to Timmy Allen on the top of the floor to initiate offensively. That's a lot of size running your offense out front.
Three-pointer from Cunningham, no. And now it's Travion Williams.
They just clear it out for him.
Williams, the spin, a little bit of contact, offensive foul. That's what Cunningham has brought this program, the junior from Austin, as we throw it back over to A.J. Ross.
Well, Spiro, Chris Beard and Matt Painter are friends, and they have a lot of mutual respect for one another as they have climbed up the coaching ranks. As someone who's always looked to grow and evolve, Beard admits he's studied Painter over the years, and that's paid off at least twice here at the NCAA tournament. Back in 2016, Beard's team upset Purdue in double overtime, no less, when he was working for Little Rock. Then he did it again in 2018 when he was coaching Texas Tech. So can he get the hat trick today? Only one other coach has beaten the same team 3 times in a tournament while coaching 3 different teams, and that was Tubby Smith beating UCLA 3 times when he coached Tulsa, Kentucky, and Minnesota.
Wasn't it great seeing Tubby's name go up in the rafters at Rupp Arena this year?
Indeed. So much respect between these two coaches as we get contact here and another foul as Devin Askew has checked into the game. Isaiah Thompson whistled for the contacts. But we had a chance to visit with both coaches. Beard, of course, the UT graduate, talking about his admiration for Matt Painter. Both kind of came up together. Both assistants under legends. Beard, of course, all those years under Bobby Knight. Painter with Gene Cady, his mentor, former coach.
Well, when you talked earlier about Chris Beard being ahead of schedule at Texas, remember, they were picked top 5 in the beginning of the season with all these transfers and his reputation in his first year at Texas.
Debbie, that's a good, hard, clean foul. Have a look at the pass from Ivy as Caleb First paying the price.
Yeah, it's a no layup defense for Texas, that's for sure. But Jaden Ivey making a play right there through the step up into the traffic, dropping it off for First.
So here's Caleb First, freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, a 71% free throw shooter, and it looks like he may have some blood on his right elbow. Well, you can get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament at ncaa.com. Looks like it's actually the left elbow first. I feel like this kid is a big, big part of their future. He actually played his best game in a couple of weeks the other night. Starter 12 times this season for Matt Painter.
Spiro, think about the depth that Matt Painter has up front, where you can go with Edey at the 5, Williams at the 5 or the 4. First can play in between the 2 of them. It's a lot of depth up front.
First free throw is no good. Purdue 27 made free throws on Friday night. Most for them in an NCAA tournament game in 35 years. Such a big part of their offensive arsenal. First readies himself, and he goes 1 of 2. First, a former Indiana Mr. Basketball as a high school senior last year at Black Hawk Christian. Tibby Allen wants to take the freshman. This is Carr. Long 3 and a track down rebound by Thompson. Zach Edey back onto the floor for Purdue. Picked up an early foul. And so Painter sat him down. There's another theft. Ramey ahead of the field. And look at Ivy. Unbelievable. Allen shoots off to the right, and the rebound by Ivy.
What a play by Jaden Ivey. He hasn't taken a shot yet, but he's had an impact on the game.
Errant pass that time. A little miscommunication with First wandering to the top of the circle. And it's a Boilermaker turnover, their 5th. And now AT&T 5G takes us above the rim for one of the best plays of the night. Well, he not only is an offensive star, young kid who gives it to you at both ends of the floor.
First team All Big Ten performer in the running for Player of the Year in the Big Ten, along with Johnny Davis at Wisconsin.
Carr looking for a teammate. Dylan Dessou has checked in for Chris Beard. 10 to shoot. There's Ramey on a triple. Offensive rebound, Dessou underneath. Pass in tight quarters. Allen. Longhorns out of sorts. Trying to regather. Jones. Off balance. And Dessou takes a shove. Boy, big minutes here for Dessou. They desperately needed something from him tonight with all this size, Debbie, from Purdue.
Well, the one thing that Chris Beard told his team yesterday, is you see first with a shove in the back, said they're big, but we can rebound with them. We have to go and rebound with two hands.
Dessou, that devastating ACL tear, had to have the knee reconstruction last year while at Vanderbilt. Still working his way back. He's been a little bit timid at times, but not that sequence, yeah. Debbie, laying his body on the line.
Spiro, he's going to be a big-time player for Texas. Led the SEC in rebounding. Missed the last 8 games of the season last year. The first 8 of this year. Transfer from Vanderbilt.
He'll take a seat, 10 to shoot. Bishop back on the floor. Here's Carr. Errant pass. Bishop was wide open. So Texas's offense now has gone quiet. No points in the last 3+ minutes. Edey still looking for his first points. Leans in, puts it down.
Can't guard that. That is almost impossible if you don't turn him into a passer and make him make a decision with a ball. If he can just back you down, that is 2 points.
Edey,
2 feet in the paint.
Sorry, Debbie, second in the country in field goal percentage. Bishop puts it on the deck, tripped inadvertently. No whistle. Last touch by Texas. Travion Williams showing you his arsenal. And Marcus Carr picking up where he left off. 1 point Texas lead. 1 point Texas lead. Seconds ago, AJ talking with Matt Painter.
Coach, 5 turnovers to start this one. How do you clean things up a bit?
We just got to take care of the basketball, make good passes. I thought the Reed last pass was okay. We just got to be able to connect on it, just got to be able to talk and make some simple plays.
And you anticipated the pressure coming toward Jaden Ivey. He's yet to score. How do you get him a little more involved?
Well, he's made some good passes. They've overdid a few things. We've centered the basketball a couple times. He's looking for those guys. So he's created opportunities for his teammates. Things will start to open up here. He just got to stay aggressive.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, AJ, this is such a great coaching matchup. Painter and Beard, as Jaden Ivey will take a seat. 5 straight points for the Boilermakers and no points for Texas in the last 3:40.
Well, Texas has 10 more field goal attempts early in the game because they've got 7 offensive rebounds and they've turned Purdue over those 5 times that AJ was talking about.
See the shooting struggles for Texas. Ethan Morton has checked in for the first time, a sophomore for Matt Painter. Hounded by Jones and contact way out in the perimeter.
Yeah, that's a foul. You cannot displace the ball handler. There was an arm bar on Morton. Players are going to have to adjust to that whistle.
But Debbie, the pace and the way that this game is being played certainly advantaged Texas so far, wouldn't you say?
No question, because of what we just outlined about the number of field goal attempts, the pace, the way they're turning it over, the way they're on the glass.
Edey taking some contact. It's on Bishop. And big Zach Edey headed back to the free throw line.
I mean, Matt Painter knows if you throw it on the block, they're not bringing the double. So Edey, if he can catch it deep, it's almost really impossible to stop him with his size and his skill set.
Edey, a 66% free throw shooter. Here's a tournament summary. Chris Beard trying to take this Texas program to the college basketball mountaintop. How about that? No coach with a beard has ever won the hardware.
He might have to stay. If he wins this, we might have to consider it.
Beard grew up in Irving. Back home after a terrific run with Texas Tech, a move that sent shockwaves through the sport. And right now his Texas team trailing. Jones, back of the rim, rebound Gillis. And these offensive droughts, something that has plagued this Texas team all season.
Well, they've got to work to get the ball inside and play through the paint, whether it's a post-up paint touch or it's a piece of the paint off penetration.
Edey trying to set up Dessou, a little bit too strong off glass. Can't play him any better than that than Dessou did that time. Allen picks up the dribble into the corner. That's an open three, not that time. Febres with his first take.
Really good drop coverage by Zach Edey. Good box out of Dessou to allow a Purdue teammate to rebound.
Texas has not scored in more than 5 minutes. Hunter's pass broken up. Newman.
You can't throw 7-4 bounce pass.
Hunter is fouled. Three free throws for Eric Hunter. Second time that Texas has fouled a three-point shooter. And this one, it's on Carr.
A little bit better rhythm for Matt Painter once they broke the huddle this time offensively, getting the touches down to the block, getting Hunter for a three in the deep corner.
You can watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Scan the QR code now to download. Eric Hunter, the senior from Indianapolis, out of Tinley Prep. This year had to overcome that broken leg, cost them the first 5 games of the season. He's actually been on quite the three-point shooting tear. 58% over the last 20 games that he has played. Elite on-ball defender. A starter for about half the season, reinstated into the starting 5 by Painter in late January.
Well, he's done a good job of facilitating, and it allows Matt Painter to get Jaden Ivey off the ball.
Allen.
But when he rebounds, watch out.
Ivey back in, has his pocket picked. It's Ramey. Ramey had a lane, but he's going to back it away and reset. Look at the Texas shooting drought. They're still only down 3 points. Here's Dessou. He'll launch. And they can't buy one. Texas is 5 of 21 from the field.
Look at the clear out. All 4 white jerseys to the other side of the floor, so Travion Williams can do that.
Travion Williams giving them a shot in the arm off the bench. 8 points. He's hit all 4 of his shots. Texas desperate for some points. Jones, contact, puts it down. What's the call? No basket, offensive foul. Sasha Stefanovic took a shot, and he is checking for all of his teeth.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Tough break for Texas. Just when they thought that they finally had a bucket. Askew reinserted. Chris Beard trying to find any kind of mix to get their offensive game going. So Andrew Jones sits. We come up on the 8-minute mark before halftime. Here's Williams. Cunningham taking his turn.
Pushing him, trying to push him away.
Williams, all that girth. Boy, the little shimmy shake, taking him to the schoolyard. 7-point Purdue lead.
And look at the footwork, the handle, the balance, the finish.
Ramey overplay, they work it underneath. Allen denied. And right now it's all Purdue. Ivey thought about the 3, takes flight, out to Morton. Splash! Biggest lead of the night for the Boilermakers. And right now, Texas is on the ropes. down 10 as we come down the stretch in this opening half. There's our game summary. Purdue up 10 with 7:37 left before halftime, and they've done this despite the fact that Jaden Ivey has yet to score, hasn't even taken a shot. It's been all Trevion Williams.
Well, Ivey has an impact on the game in other ways, but Travion Williams 5 for 5. By our count, 3 different defenders trying to play him straight up, and Chris Beard's defense, forget about it when he catches it that deep. His handle, his mobility, his balance, and his determination around the rim to finish. When he gets to that left shoulder, forget about it.
Debbie, take me into that Chris Beard timeout huddle. How does he get their offensive game going?
I think they got to go inside out. They've been playing on the top of the Purdue defense. I think they need to take a dive north and south into the teeth of Purdue's defense and set up your three-point shooting that way.
Here's Devin Askew, works into the corner. Out of Timmy Allen, 7 to shoot. Out to Carr, and Morton got a piece. Allen able to snatch it. Got a decent look, but they come up empty again.
They really like Timmy Allen on the elbow or in the slot, which is that free throw lane extended.
Texas, if you've just joined us, has gone 8 minutes without a point.
Well, they got to get some stops right here. Their defense is what can keep them in it, and they can turn Purdue over.
Williams looking for more. Well played by Bishop. Williams, it has been his night so far.
12 points on 6 for 6.
And look at the scoring drought meantime for the Longhorns.
Well, this is what you worry about if you're Chris Beard's team. This is where they've been so inconsistent. Dependable on the defensive end. Inconsistent offensively all season.
Hunter the steal. And then a reach-in foul on Askew. And this thing going from bad to worse in a hurry. Travion Williams has been the driving force for the Boilermakers. They're up a dozen on TNT. "18 straight points for the Boilermakers. Seconds ago, A.J. Ross with Chris Beard.
Coach, 18-0 run on by Purdue right now. How do you get some momentum going on your offense?
Well, one, we got to score some baskets. We're getting decent shots, and I think the run is starting to affect us a little bit. So it's a long game. We just got to put some stops together and get back in this thing.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
AJ, this is where it gets hard. How diligent, how disciplined can the Texas Longhorns stay here with that lead and that deficit now starting to build by Purdue?
Well, their defense has been so solid all season long, and let's see if they make a change to the way they guard Travion Williams. Maybe bring a double, maybe consider that as an option.
Texas had a 14-8 lead before this run started. And boy, how quickly this game has turned. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, best Coke ever. Who's deciding these things? Maybe we just have to try it and see. Debate the goatness. Eric Hunter. And look at that run by the Boilermakers. Texas, the first round win over Virginia Tech here on Friday night. They were riding high with the confidence. Marcus Carr, Andrew Jones had everything working offensively. But a far different set of circumstances right now against Purdue, the powerhouse out of the Big Ten. Ramey with 5 to shoot. Elevates. The tip no. And a loose ball foul against Timmy Allen.
I'll tell you what, as good as Purdue's offense has been, that was a really good defensive possession. Because Travion Williams showed a hedge. They looked like they were going to trap. It was a tag from the weak side by Jaden Ivey. Then he recovered out to Ramey.
Eighth team foul against Texas, so a 1-and-1 here with 5:39 left. And Purdue looking for a 21st consecutive point. Here's Ethan Morton, 69% free throw shooter. And the rebound corralled by Cunningham. Marcus Carr, 15 points the other night. Can he direct this Texas offense back on course? Jones, top of the key, finally. First points for Texas in 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
Well, now you can set your D and get organized, right? And if you can get 3 stops in a row and 3 scores, you can get back in this thing before the end of the half.
Williams trying to turn the corner. Cunningham, beautiful spin.
There's a
and that
double.
pass stolen. Jones, a foot race, and they won't catch him.
They bring a double, and he turns it over. Good adjustment by Chris Beard.
Or if they're looking for a silver lining, they just need to look up at the scoreboard. They're only down 10. Inexplicably. Here's Stefanovic, quick trigger release, well short. Williams was there, second time's a charm. Travion Williams, sensational first half. Drive and kick, Cunningham launches, that's a 3.
A 50% shooter. He's serviceable, he doesn't take a lot, but he shot that one with a lot of confidence.
Chris Beard calls him our jack of all trades. That's the Longhorns only their 4th triple of the night. Williams, little hesitation maneuver, couldn't hit. Febres was there, bothered the shot just enough. And somehow Texas is within 9. Here's Carr, that's a 3. And Texas showing a heartbeat. Chris Beard is fired up. Texas back from the dead. They're within 6. 6 unanswered by Texas, and they have cut a 14-point deficit down to 6. A reminder coming up, AT&T at the half. We'll get you caught up on all the latest tournament news, highlights, and updates. It's all next on AT&T at the half. So excited to have you with us. Latter stages second, well, make it first half here in our second game of the night. Downtown Milwaukee, Jaden Ivey, who's been awfully quiet. Haven't needed much from him yet as a scorer, but he will take his turn here at the free throw line.
This is the first time he's actually turned a corner, got to the paint, and looked for a shot for himself. So coming off the timeout, I'm sure Matt Painter wanted to get his sophomore All-American involved.
Ivy, the newly minted second-team All-American, well short on the first. It's been an emotional couple of days for the Ivy family. His mom, Nielle, the Notre Dame legend, got the Notre Dame women's team a NCAA tournament victory yesterday, and now they await their second-round matchup in Oklahoma.
Carol Owen, Michaela Mabry, Spinelli in the background.
Young Jaden grew up in South Bend, where his mom was a star all those years for the Fighting Irish. And now she is rooting on her boy. Boilermakers trying to get back to the Sweet 16. Here's Carr, pulls off to the left. Gillis clears.
So Chris Beard knows that it's drop coverage on step-ups and middle ball screens. So he's just putting Marcus Carr in that action so he can get a good look once he gets past the screen.
Here's Hunter. That was a deep 3. Hunter, his own miss. Now Stefanovic. So Sasha Stefanovic now 0 of 3, all of his shots from distance.
In 4 postseason games, when you count the other game, the other night against Yale.
Febres on a 3-point jack.
Stefanovic is only averaging 4 points in the postseason, Spiro.
Can he get his offensive game going? 80, a beautiful drop step maneuver. Debbie, it's just astounding. A kid of his size, he's just so nimble, those soft feet, setting up the defender. Textbook.
And he reads the D. He knows he's got Cunningham on his hip. What's amazing to me is he's 6'2" in the 7th grade, 6'10" in the 8th grade, 7'2" in the 10th grade. Now he's 7-4.
Zach's mom looking on. You can see the nervousness. Young man who grew up in Toronto. Hockey was his first love. He was quite the baseball player. Said that the more people told him to play basketball as he grew taller, the more he kind of shunned the sport. Finally picked it up at the age of 15. And boy, is his mom, Julia, awfully proud how far that young man has come. Make a pretty good argument. He is the most improved player in the country this season. Here comes Jones, challenging Edey. A little bit of contact. And Andrew Jones will shoot free throws.
You know, watch Edey rotates over on Jones. He was not vertical. That's why they called that foul. Tried to block the shot. But you know, I'm sure Zach Edey would love to join his high school teammate from IMG, Mark Williams at Duke in the Sweet 16 as Duke advanced over Michigan State earlier today.
Indeed. First free throw from Jones is good. Watch CBS Sports HQ for the best coverage of the big dance. Catch tournament highlights, picks, previews, recaps, and much more on the free 24/7 Sports News Network. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. Jones, 82% free thrower. One of the most improbable stories that you'll ever hear. Young man, AJ told his story. A man who fought his way and survived leukemia. 2 years out of the sport. 6th year with the school. Can he get Texas into the Sweet 16? What a moment it would be for him. You look up perseverance in the dictionary. There's got to be a picture there of young Andrew Jones. On a defensive sequence by Ramey.
There's no question he's an inspiration. And now Ramey, excited about the tip and deflection, now picks up the foul.
You know, people forget Jones, 5-star kid out of Irving, Texas. A lot of people felt like he was going to be a one and done. Returned for his sophomore year, that Mo Bamba class. You remember he broke his wrist, came back, was complaining of fatigue, finally diagnosed with leukemia. Got him cancer-free to MD Anderson, one of the top cancer facilities in the world in Houston. But one thing people forget, even after he was cancer-free, Debbie, he had to continue with the chemo for over a year after that. Everything it took out of him physically.
And he's a remarkable young man, and he has decided to donate 10% of his NIL deals to the Jimmy V Foundation. I think giving is a skill, and he certainly has learned how to do that based on how grateful he is. As we take a look at Niele Ivey and her staff watching on Jaden Ivey, her son.
Texas was down 14 points. Fredbus will reset. Jones, beautiful handle. Off the back iron. And Gillis with a rebound. 90 seconds left, opening half. Purdue and Texas.
Well, Texas is in a fight now. They survived that drought to make it a competitive end of the half.
How much energy do they have left for the final 60+ seconds here? Williams stepping middle, the hook, no, and Bishop clears. Purdue is out of fouls. Next whistle will put Texas in the bonus. And there it is right there. Carr will shoot a 1-and-1 with 61 seconds left before the intermission.
Part of being 6'10" and seeing the game like a guard is to think that you can get that steal. That's a gamble that I'm sure Coach Painter wishes that Travion didn't take.
So the whistle on Williams, his second, and the 7th against Purdue. 1-and-1 for Carr, 78% on the season. Couldn't hit.
Going 2 for 1 here.
Ivey in a hurry. Hunter. Williams was wide open. Out to Gillis. front rim twice. Ramey has it.
I don't know why you turned down a dunk.
Boy, Williams a little bit shaken up. That'd be a good question. And then contact deep in the corner. This is Febres who's fouled. And another 1-and-1 for Texas.
All this stoppage and lack of rhythm is all Texas, right? I mean, they've been able to come back from double digits because they got a couple stops in a row. They made a couple of shots. And now they're starting to settle in. They're getting to the free throw line. Purdue is more of a rhythm team. Texas has done a nice job here of disrupting.
A junkyard dog defensive tenacity, taking the emotional leadership of their head coach, Chris Beard. Coach who wears his emotions on his sleeve. Looks like the officials are going to go to the instant replay monitor here, Debbie. Perhaps to see if there was anything low here. We saw Williams take a shot. That is that's painful. So the officials having a conversation.
I think it's just a natural basketball play, just a pivot, unfortunately.
Okay, so nothing extra. Officials telling the players to come back on the floor. No timeout was taken.
Yeah, you don't want to see anybody get hurt, unfortunately.
Let's bring in Gene. Gene, what did you see there?
After Ramey gets the rebound on the other end, you have a Purdue player that's trailing behind him, and then he bends over and kind of delivers what could have been an offensive player control foul right there for that action, but they don't deem that to be a flagrant foul, just a no call potentially for a player control foul. So nothing to upgrade to a flagrant level foul on that play.
All right, Gene Steratore, our rules analyst. So 41.8 seconds left. Jace Febres, a 78% free throw shooter, at the line for a 1-and-1. And Texas leaving some valuable points at the stripe. Purdue has led by as many as 14 right now with possession and a 6-point lead with 30 seconds left in the half. Hunter around the screen, turns the corner, off balance. Edey is there for the stick back. Farini, only his second basket of the night. 8-point lead. Again, Purdue is out of fouls here. 5 seconds. Carr wants to shoot over Hunter. Sticks it. 1 second inbound to Ivy. And that'll take us to halftime here in Milwaukee. Boy, it looked as though the Boilermakers were going to start to pull away, but Texas, behind their defensive tenacity, is right back in it. And it's a 6-point game at halftime. 11 points for Carr to lead Texas. And Travion Williams with a game-high 14 points. A date in the Sweet 16 on the line as we throw it over to AJ with Matt Painter.
Coach, you guys went on an 18-0 run, then Texas started trading baskets with you guys. What do you need to do defensively to keep Texas at bay?
Well, I hope they keep missing front ends of 1-and-1. So if they can keep doing that, that'd be great. You know, we had the ball at the rim a couple times. Travion's really unselfish. He kind of passes out when he's got a layup. We missed a couple open shots there. We got to do a good job of staying into the basketball, just taking what they're giving us. You know, defensively, just doing a lot of little things and keep doing a good job on the glass.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, so Matt Painter, a lot to talk about. This chess match between Painter and Beard going deep into the night with a trip to the Sweet 16 on the line here in Milwaukee. We'll send you to AT&T at the half after these messages on TNT. Back with you here in downtown Milwaukee. Let's take a look at the first half stats. Brought to you by Degree. Shooting numbers. Purdue had a lead as big as 14 points before the impressive 16-8 close by the Longhorns to finish that first half. Spiro and Debbie courtside. We'll hear from AJ in just a couple of minutes. If you're a college hoops junkie, this is what you want. Matt Painter versus Chris Beard with a trip to the Sweet 16 on the line. What are you looking for here in the second half?
Well, I'm looking to see what Texas is going to do with that no middle defense and giving up 20 points in the paint. I mean, Trevion Williams is 7 for 9. He's got 14 first half points. That's one of the things I'm looking for. Now, Trevion on the block has been tough to deal with. They've taken him on a one-on-one. When they throw it inside, they clear it out. Look at the space he has to operate. He goes 6 for his first 6 before he misses. He was dominant on the interior. And let's see how Texas tries to take some of that away. Zach Edey, of course, gets the start of the second half. Same principles, though, on the interior with both 5 men for Purdue.
Well, you want to know something about Matt Painter and his staff? Purdue has won 30 straight games when leading at halftime.
The other thing is Jaden Ivey really hasn't had a field goal attempt. He's been to the free throw line because he's been fouled. See if he can get involved here in the second.
So our game trends, 5 lead changes, 1 tie. And now everything on the line. It's Andrew Jones getting the second half party started.
That's a matchup that they've been able to take advantage of, Texas. Andrew Jones and the Stefanovic matchup on the defensive end.
Jones, the second Longhorn in double digits, joins Carr. And Jones nearly the steal. But a good start for Texas. Let's throw it over to AJ.
Chris Beard told me it's kind of like pick your poison with this Purdue team between Jaden Ivey, Zach Edey, and Trevion Williams. But he liked the way they limited Ivey and Edey in that first half, and the fact Purdue only made 1 3-pointer was part of their game plan. He said offensively that shooting drought in the middle of the first really hurt, but they're getting good looks. They just have to shoot their way out of this, guys.
All right, AJ, the way that they can defend, they're never quite out of it. Stefanovic again is short. Gillis offensive rebound.
Well, they missed Edey at the front of the rim.
Ivey cocking one back.
They didn't miss that cut.
My goodness. As electrifying a player as there is in the country. Whistle blown away from the basketball. This is on Purdue. Ramey trying to come through the middle of the paint. It's on Ivey, his first.
I mean, look at this cut. Look at this. Boom. How about that for your first shot attempt of the game?
His mom spent that 1 year as an assistant coach with the Memphis Grizzlies. Jaden said that he would watch John Morant walk into the gym, would watch him do everything. Eat, play basketball, soaked in as much as he could. Look at Carr with the outside stroke. And then a whistle on the inbounds play. Texas is going to get it back.
Big 3 by Carr. Nice playing inside out to set up your triples. Hands down. Carr sticks it. And then a sloppy inbounds.
Sorry, Debbie, he's been a different player so far in this tournament. 15 the other night, 14 here. Carr is headed to the free throw line. He is playing with a confidence, and he will shoot 2 and can cut it to 1.
Remember, Texas shot 64% as a team in the second half against Virginia Tech. And there you see the foul on the elbow. Marcus Carr was one of 5 players for Texas that scored in double figures against Georgia Tech. And one of the things Chris Beard talked about was culture's going to win this one for us, guys. We're going to have to play with D, but we're going to have to get everyone involved on offense as well.
There's the Beard family behind the Texas bench. Marcus Carr getting his first taste of March Madness, the double transfer. Young man who always looked up to his brother Dwayne Notice. Played under Frank Martin, South Carolina Final Four team. Ivey in and out. And then Edey is fouled on the rebound. But that was halfway in and somehow came off.
I heard Bob Huggins in the studio talking about these kind of plays earlier today. Right? How did that ball not go in?
Well, we do have those new balls that we're using, Debbie. Perhaps something there.
Yeah, we're getting adjusted to the color of that ball, aren't we?
It is bright. Dessou back in here. Hunter will be the inbounder. 20 seconds to shoot. Early stages of the second half as Dessou now takes his turn against Edey. Here comes the 7'4" center. The cut And again, that interior defense. Hunter, the loose ball. Well challenged. This is on Allen. You got to live with that. The aggressive defense, the rotations, everything that this team does behind Chris Beard. But Eric Hunter is going to shoot free throws.
I mean, this is a classic-looking jump shot, and there on the elbow, on the wrist, Timmy Allen.
So here is Hunter, the senior from Indianapolis. Gradual progression to his offensive game over the years. As he hits on the first. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, best Coke ever. Who is deciding these things? Maybe we just have to try it and see. Debate the goatness.
Timmy Allen's going to go to the bench, Spiro. He has not scored in this game, and he is their leading scorer.
Watched his brother Teddy and New Mexico State's dream come to a halt yesterday.
Timmy wanted us to clear it up for the nation. Yesterday in practice, he said, he's Timmy Buckets. Teddy's not Buckets. Teddy's Sauce.
He was very adamant about that, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He was very serious about it.
Can he get his team into the Sweet 16? That is Jones. Another one in and out. And Edey clears. A manly rebound by Edey. And then contact here. Ramey the bump against Ivy. Now this one is getting physical. A lot of bumping and grinding. Yeah, one thing that's been crazy over the years, no Big Ten team has won a national championship since Michigan State. Have to go all the way back to 2000. And they are not quite off to the start that they were hoping for here in terms of the conference here in 2022.
Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Michigan State all exits today.
Debbie, it's just so staggering. All the great teams in this league over the years. As we get a jump ball here, possession arrow favors the Boilermakers. A lot of people have wondered if this Purdue team is finally the right group and the mix that can take the Boilermakers to the college basketball mountaintop.
Illinois is out as well today. Illinois and Wisconsin share the Big Ten title. Iowa wins the Big Ten tournament. Purdue, they're still dancing.
With a block, and a second block, and a jump ball. That is brilliant defense by Dylan Dessou. And the possession arrow gets it to Texas. You think Dessou wants to get to a Sweet 16? How far that young man has come. Reconstructive knee surgery. One of the premier shot blockers last year in the SEC. Marcus Carr stroking one.
Again, that is available to him all game based on the drop ball screen coverage that Purdue plays defensively in the middle third.
Ivy's pass deflected. Texas right now starting to ratchet up its defense again.
And you let Marcus Carr get to that right hand and that pull-up jumper at the elbow. He's tough. He's been tough in this tournament.
Officials reminding Chris Beard to stay in that coach's box. Beard obliges. Edey hounded again. Drop steps. No, but he will shoot free throws. And those Texas bigs are trying to get their money's worth against Edey. Make every dribble, every shot that he takes a challenge. Well, you can follow Highlighter for everything you need to see her do in sports and culture. Scan the QR code now and don't miss another moment. Spiro Ditas, Debbie Antonelli, AJ Ross, our producer Steve McKee, Jim Cornell, our director. Rest of our crew here in Milwaukee for this round of 32 battle. Purdue and Texas, Big 10 against Big 12. Couple of junkyard dog teams. Jones off the front of the rim. And the rebound by Edey. Hunter, little shovel pass to Edey off of his hands. It's a turnover.
Remember that 20-0 scoring run in the first half, Spiro? And Texas just methodically, with their disciplined defense, just keeps chipping away. And now they've been able to make some shots to make it a one-possession game here in the second half.
Third time that Matt Painter and Chris Beard are meeting in the NCAA tournament. Painter has never solved Beard at this stage. AJ mentioned that Little Rock, Arkansas upset when Purdue was a 5 seed. How will history remember this night? Carr's pass, Gillis able to break it up, 13 seconds to shoot. Boilermakers giving them a taste of their own medicine. A 1-point Purdue lead on TNT. Unbelievable, Adam. Another 2 seed going down, and now Iowa State and Miami. What an improbable matchup there, as those two teams will lock up in Chicago in the Sweet 16 coming up next week. There's Chris Beard. What a homecoming story for him, the UT graduate, back to Austin. What a story it's been in college basketball this season.
What a win for Jim Larinaga in Miami. Isaiah Wong, 21. Pam McGusty, 20.
Here's Dessou, the fake. He puts it down and takes some contact. And now Dylan Dessou starting to put his imprint on this one.
Good toughness on the inside by Texas coming off the timeout. Get right into the chest of Travion Williams.
You saw Beard pacing that sideline as he tries to really transform the perception around this program. Such a football-centric school in Austin. As we throw it back over to AJ. What do you have, AJ?
Well, Spiro, we all have heard don't mess with Texas, and that was the energy in that huddle during that last timeout. They're fighting and clawing to get back into this one, and Chris Beard was beat red, telling his guys, welcome to the second round. Now let's play some basketball.
AJ, he has garnered such respect around the sport. Those incredible runs in Lubbock with Texas Tech. Off-balance shot from Hunter. Look at Gillis. He's all over the place. Stripped by Cunningham. So many similarities between those two players. Purdue will inbound with 18 to shoot.
Good crash by Gillis. Yeah, Chris Beard's all about culture and energy and teaching. And it's one of the best defenses in the country. 6th in the nation in scoring. D. Look at Ivy.
The artistry and the improvisation of this kid. Something to behold. One-point game with just under 5 minutes gone by.
Much better job of corralling Marcus Carr, making him go left.
Cunningham from deep. This is wildly rebound by Williams. Here's Ivy. Young man just trying to get his scoring game going, Debbie.
Well, he's had a dunk and he's had a drive. He's been to the free throw line.
Jones, long three, splash. Texas, back from 14 down, has retaken the lead. I told you about the history between these two coaches in the big dance. Arkansas, Little Rock, Purdue, the 5 seed in what was a stunner. And then the Red Raiders putting it on Purdue in that scintillating 2-3 matchup. Beard talked about all the respect, the admiration he has for Matt Painter, one of the truly gifted tacticians in the sport.
I mean, he studies a lot of other coaches. He was talking about Nick Saban yesterday at Alabama and talking about all the other coaches inside the Big 12 that he has learned from, because it's a tough league. Some consider the best league.
Zach Edey, meantime, drawing contact, and he's going to shoot some more free throws.
Zach Edey catches it in the kind of real estate that is really tough to defend him when he gets over that left shoulder.
And Edey misses. He's now 3 of 7 at the stripe. You can watch live Ben's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Scan the QR code to download. 1 point Texas lead with 14 and change left in regulation. Texas looking for what would be its 8th all-time Sweet 16 appearance. Purdue trying to get back to that round for the first time in 3 years.
You weak Marcus Carr and make him go left, and you take away some of his options.
Here's Jones all the way through. He stepped out. Turnover. It's only their 5th.
A disciplined defense and only 5 turnovers. Well, Purdue's not a team that turns you over a lot. That's not in their makeup, in their DNA defensively.
First turnover of the half committed by the Longhorns. This is Caleb First, the highly touted freshman. Hunter working on Dessou. First on a triple. Got it!
Gets those feet organized on those 17 wood panels in the corner between the sideline and the three-point line.
That's Marcus Carr, a little bit short. You did count those panels, by the way, right?
I always count them.
Here comes Ivy, full head of steam. Hunter! First had a hand on it, couldn't squeeze it.
This is Texas pace, right? Dead ball, run a set. Dead ball, organize your defense.
Couple of changes here by Beard. Also for Painter. Isaiah Thompson, a junior, another Indiana kid, checks back in. Askew and Timmy Allen for Texas.
Spiro Timmy Allen 0 for 4. No points in the game so far.
He's a young kid who plays with a lot of confidence. He will not shy away from the spotlight, no matter what the shooting numbers are. Here he is underneath, little pick and roll action, doubled up, fading away, and he puts it down right on cue, and we are tied.
Nice screen and nice delivery by Devin Askew on a little pocket pass after you pull Edey away from the bucket.
Ivy, holy smokes, trying to rip the roof off this place. Debbie, you give him an inch.
I mean, look at him squeeze through the double. There's not much space there. Chris Beard told us he wanted Jaden Ivey to see 2. He loses the ball on the way up otherwise. So quick. Doesn't need much separation.
First free throw is up and good. The Sweet 16 begins Thursday with the Nissan NCAA tip-off on TBS at 6 p.m., followed by doubleheaders on CBS and TBS. Jaden Ivey, for the college basketball fan who just kind of casually watches the sport, really introduced himself to the national audience last year. That first round upset loss to North Texas. He scored 26 points. Followed that up with another 20 plus the other night. What does he have in store here down the stretch? Febres misses on a triple. Thompson up the floor as we hit the 12-minute mark, second half. Purdue and Texas battling for the Sweet 16. It's Edey. Boilermakers trying to reestablish their low post game. 4th foul charged to Timmy Allen. Huge call against Texas. There's our game summary. 2-point Purdue lead in this 3-6 matchup in the East. Which of these two programs will be moving on to Philadelphia and the Sweet 16? Marcus Carr has had an incredible two-game start to his first NCAA tournament experience.
Spiro, he's shooting the ball really well. 6 for 12 outside, 3 for 6 outside the three-point line. 18 points to lead Texas right now, and they're going to do a better job of sending him left, not letting him get downhill to that right hand. His mid-range pull-up has been outstanding, but he's also been a threat outside the arc.
Carr, first year, trying to get acclimated to his new school, new program. We asked Chris Beard about him. He said, look, like any other high-profile transfer, there's always the outside narrative, the distractions that these kids have to handle, but boy, we love them. Said that Marcus's goal all along was to come to Texas, get to the dance, and make a run. Took their first step the other night. Can they knock off Purdue, this Boilermakers team that entered the season a legitimate national championship contender, top 10 all year? It has been physical, and it has been tight. Edey's free throws make it a 4-point game with under 12 left. Christian Bishop hands to Carr. Errant pass, Thompson, and he is bumped. Another rare miscue for Texas. They have taken such good care of the basketball. Andrew Jones has whistled. Double bonus for Purdue for the last 11 plus.
Yeah, we're going to be shooting a lot of free throws here. That was a Purdue, remember, shot in the game against Yale. A season high 27 for 33. They're 20 for 29 right now. They're going to shoot a lot of free throws here in the last 11:37.
These will be their 30th and 31st free throws of the night. Debbie mentioned Purdue's free throws the other night, 27 to 33, second most that they have attempted ever in an NCAA tournament game. And then they shatter their school record here tonight. Thompson misses on the second. Texas with possession, down 5, as Carr gets them into their set. No stars on this Texas team, just a bunch of really good, sound players. Who do they turn to here? That is Ramey. Big basket. Courtney Ramey, the senior from St. Louis, son of a coach, one of the best high school coaches, in fact, in St. Louis. Ivy, back rim, no. Offensive rebound, and more free throws. This is where Edey starts to lean on you defensively.
Big board by Edey on the weak side. He's being held. That's why he wasn't able to go up with 2 hands. We've seen a little more Zach Edey here in the second half.
First free throw is no good. There's so many people who cover the sport, certainly around Purdue, that watch this kid come in and supplant in Travion Williams, an All-American center who had been their leading scorer each of the last 2 years. But as Matt Painter said in, Edey came in, fine-tuned his game, and just beat him out. Obviously, Williams has been a massive piece in his reserve role. But what a season it's been for Edey. Bishop back to Ramey. Probing. Tough defense from Ivy. Ramey, no. And Bishop is fouled underneath by Edey. Debbie, that's what you need from your bigs. Just get in defensive and offensive position underneath.
Yeah, you just want to be able to get to a 50-50 ball off the glass. Watch the push.
Edey will sit, third personal on him. Only the 4th team foul. And another whistle here against Purdue. This one is on Thompson. Second on him, 5th on the Boilermakers. Everyone around West Lafayette asking, is this finally the Purdue team that can break through in this tournament? Stunned last year in the first round to a North Texas team that was a 13 seed.
Well, if you think about that Midwest bracket, Baylor is gone, the 1 seed.
Bishop up and under.
And Kentucky, the 2 seed, is gone.
Here's first. Now to Morton. Well played. Morton picks up the dribble. Hunter handles that tough pass. 10 out of the timer. Here comes the freshman first. Glass, no. And Cunningham controls. We're past the midway point of this second half. Texas and Purdue, with the winner advancing to the Sweet 16. Three-pointer from Jones, no. Offensive rebound, Cunningham somehow saves. Ramey. Here he comes into the paint. Dropping a dime to Bishop, and we are tied.
That's just making a play right there. That's a heads-up drop-off by Ramey.
6-1 run. Ivy bumped on the pass. This is Hunter. Got it. So many talented offensive players on this Purdue team. Top 3 in terms of adjusted offensive efficiency all season. This is Carr. Well challenged by Hunter. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Texas.
I thought Morton did a good job when he had some reps on Carr, making him go left. So dangerous going right.
Another foul issues that Chris Beard and his staff are dealing with. Just past the 9-minute mark. Which of these two coaches can push the right buttons here down the stretch?
One-on-one.
Williams against Bishop. Quick spin. Middle. Got it.
That is impressive.
The brilliant offensive arsenal of Travion Williams. Carr out to Cunningham, trying to create some space. Bishop. Febres on a 3, well short.
Good contest by Ivy.
Texas in the second half is only 2 of 8 from long distance.
Febres doing a good job trying not to let Ivy catch.
Ivy against Febres. Bishop coming to help. Hunter. Beautiful lead bounce. The vision from Hunter and Williams with the easy deuce.
They go 4 out, 1 in. They get great movement around Trevion Williams before they throw it in a post.
7 straight for the Boilermakers. And now Texas staggers back to their corner.
Travion Williams, back-to-back buckets for Purdue. Look at that dropout down pass and a great finish inside. Purdue with a 7-point lead.
There's your score, 7-point Purdue lead, 7 unanswered points over the last minute, 39 seconds. A look at where these two teams sit in our baby bracket. Winner advances to take on the Cinderella Peacocks from St. Peter's, Sweet 16 date in Philadelphia.
What a run. Run, baby, run, Arena. That was fantastic yesterday.
Shaheen Holloway getting his due nationally, finally. Who knows what his future has in store, but all he's thinking about are his Peacocks, and they continue their dream run. Here's Carr. Chris Beard screaming for a foul. Carr taking that bump. Febres. Now to Allen. Here's the Utah transfer, shooting a little bit short. Rebound Hunter.
Good help and recover. Purdue is very good off their ATOs defensively after timeouts.
And it's worth saying again, these are two of the best coaching tacticians in the sport. Painter and Chris Beard. What a matchup this is, not only on the floor, but on the sidelines as well. 7-point Purdue lead. Let's take a look now at the Capital One rewarding performance. Travion Williams. What can you say about this young man's offensive talent? 18 points. He has done a little bit of everything tonight for the Boilermakers.
I mean, it is punishing. It is brutal defensively. He's taken on at least 4 different defenders tonight Chris Beard has had on him.
6th man of the year in the Big Ten. Here comes Morton going glass, and this is going to be an offensive foul and a Purdue turnover.
Timmy Allen, excuse me. That could have been number 5.
Terrific defensive position underneath by Timmy Allen. Can't do it much better than that. And we now are under 7 left in regulation.
You make Marcus Carr go left, he's more of a passer.
Jones comes, gets the handoff. Contact here, it's on the Boilermakers. Purdue fans screaming for a travel. And now Purdue in the penalty and a 1-and-1 for Andrew Jones.
I thought he sort of slipped, but I think he tripped on his own guy.
So here's Jones, the 82% free throw shooter. Young man, 6th year with the school. Has 2 medical redshirt years. Actually has 1 more year of eligibility if he wants it, as he hits the front end to make it a 6-point game. Well, the best of the NBA go head-to-head in pursuit of winning a championship. Don't miss a moment of the NBA playoffs beginning in April on TNT.
I'm sure Andrew's big sister Alexis Jones is watching. Great player in college and in the WNBA.
Just think of everything that family has been through. What a moment it would be for them.
Rainey has done a really good job face guarding Jaden Ivey.
Ivey, if you've just joined us, 9 points tonight, just 2 of 5 shooting. Williams coming for more, and he's going to shoot some free throws.
So quick with that move, does the work before the ball gets in his hands. And he's capable of putting it on a bounce and backing you into the rim.
Debbie, the big call here, Timmy Allen has fouled out of the game, and that is huge. All the experience and the skill that he brings.
He's been the leading scorer all season. He's 1 for 6 from the floor. He'll leave with 2 points and 2 boards.
Well, everyone who watches this Texas team knew that in order for them to have a deep run, Timmy Allen would have to have a huge role at both ends of the floor. Can the Longhorns survive now without their leading scorer? '34th and 35th free throws of the night for Purdue. Debbie, what is this game going to come down to? As you see Beard pacing in front of that bench, a lot on his mind.
Well, Texas has to continue to try to play disciplined defense and not put Purdue on the line. And Carr's going to have to come back alive here. He's been quiet because they've changed the way they're defending him. You've got to keep him on this left side. There's a lob.
Precision pass by Carr, and Bishop with the finish.
Really nice screen and roll. They have put the bigs of Purdue in that ball screen action in the second half.
Williams, top of the circle, wants to take Bishop, fakes the spin. How about a little dream shake from Williams? 21 points for the former All-American from Chicago. Carr on a step back, in and out. Stefanovic clears. Ivy the drive. This is Morton. Splash! And Purdue starting to flex a muscle.
Boy, Jaden Ivey can switch sides of the floor so quickly in transition.
A quick 5 straight points in the last 39 seconds. Here's Ramey. Texas right now desperate for some points. 7 to shoot. Carr. Nifty little side step, couldn't bank it home. Williams has it. We are inside of 5 minutes left. Which of these two teams will be headed to Philadelphia? Here's Williams, 21 points. He's 10 of 12 shooting. Williams. That's a young man playing with some confidence.
Little shimmy right there.
Carr, the drive and kick. They need something from Jones. There it is. Slices through the defense. Big basket for Texas as we'll get a timeout. Chris Beard taking one here with 4:26 left. And Purdue holding a 7-point lead. Jones with 17 on the night. There's your score, 7-point Purdue lead. Desperately trying to look for a knockout punch, but Texas just will not go quietly. After all the games are over, Nabil Kareem, Seth Davis, Rex Chapman, Bob Huggins, and Candace Parker will have all the highlights and analysis on Inside March Madness, presented by Buick. That's later tonight only on TBS. Matt Painter trying to get the Boilermakers back in the Sweet 16 for the first time in 3 years. Think of that great 19 team led by Carson Edwards that went all the way to the Elite Eight.
Not surprised to see some full court pressure here. The danger of pressing Purdue is this right here, getting Jaden Ivey in the open floor.
Ivy, hard pass, Hunter. Front rim no good. And Ramey. Keep in mind here for Texas, Timmy Allen has fouled out, their leading scorer. Doesn't score a ton of points, but a huge, huge piece. Ramey! Big basket, 5-point game.
Immediately trapping Ivy. Watch the little bump right here by Ramey. Good contest, good finish.
And now Andrew Jones has to be careful. That's his 4th foul. W just can't lose him.
Not with Timmy Allen already gone with 5 fouls.
So here's Jaden Ivey, 74% free throw shooter. Only player in the Big Ten this season to average 17 and 3 assists. All-conference first team, second team All-American, and still one of 15 players on the Wooden Award ballot for National Player of the Year. One of the great seasons in Purdue history. His mom, Nielle, looking on from Notre Dame's hotel in Oklahoma. Nervous moments. 3:40 to play. Ramey. Carr from deep. What a shot that would have been. Look at Cunningham getting his hands dirty. It's Ramey. 2 cracks at it. And then Williams lost his footing. Huge break for Texas.
Now Purdue's going to say he lost his balance because Cunningham was underneath him. Watch the replay. Well, maybe not enough there to throw him off balance, according to the officials.
Here's Jace Febres, another upperclassman, a senior for Chris Beard. It's Carr, taking contact.
Too good going right.
Oh boy, Carr comes up hobbled a little bit. He has 20 points. And now official DJ Carstensen recognizing that Carr is in some pain. Chris Beard asking him if he's okay. And it looks like Carr is going to try to grit his way through. Going to take a whole lot more than that to take these kids off the floor in this moment. Biggest moment of their lives.
No question, there's incredible toughness right now to finish this game off.
Well, Beard's going to give him a second or maybe a moment here to try to regather, or is he? Some confusion now about the substitution.
He's got to let some time go off the clock before he can come back in.
So Askew is in here. Hunter trapped up to Morton. Stefanovic, boy, Williams was open. Stefanovic didn't want to chance it. And we are under 3 minutes left. The winner advancing to Philadelphia, where they will meet St. Peter's in the Sweet 16.
And look how hard these teams are working.
Ivy, he buries it. Jaden Ivey, the basketball dynamo from South Bend, starting to come alive. Mid-range jumper from Ramey, no, and Cunningham with a bump. And 2 free throws for Ethan Morton and Purdue. They can push it to 10.
Watch Jaden Ivey work without the ball. Change of pace, gets organized, sees a big basket. And Niel says, yes.
She hit a few of those in her day.
Oh, she sure did.
You know, we spent some time with Jaden Ivey the other night talking about the upset that he experienced against North Texas, that heartbreaking first-round upset at the hands of that team. He said he didn't even cry after the game. He was so locked in so quickly about what it would take to come back and to get his Boilermakers back in this moment.
Been watching him since he was a young man by Niel's side at Notre Dame.
Those are big free throws by Ethan Morton, the sophomore from Butler, PA. And now Texas needing some points. Febres! My goodness! A chance at 4 with maybe the biggest shot of his life.
Morton has done such a good job defending until making this mistake right here. He doesn't give him room to land.
Boy, that changes things quickly for Texas. 4-point play, and it's a 6-point game. Double bonus for Purdue. Timmy Allen again is fouled out for the Longhorns if you've just joined us. Here comes Ivy, turning the corner. Contact, it's a block. And Ivy's going to shoot 2.
Boy, he is quick with the ball. He has an incredible change and extra gear.
You know, we spoke to James Jones, the head coach at Yale, the other night as Yale was getting ready to face Purdue, and he told a story about Yale facing UCLA about 14, 15 years ago. First time he saw Russell Westbrook play in person, and he left the gym that night saying, that's the fastest player that I've ever seen. He said that was the case until he saw Jaden Ivey last year.
Coached him on a U19 USA basketball team.
That's saying something as Ivey hits his first here. Marcus Carr trying to rattle him a little bit. And again, the foul woes that Chris Beard and his staff are thinking about on that sideline. Ivey, after a quiet start, 8 of 9 at the stripe, 15 points. What's the call here? A lane violation on Travion Williams. Wipe away the point.
Wow. You know, he has a unique stance on the free throw line. And he lost his balance and fell in the lane. That's a mental mistake. Gotta have mental toughness right now. Gotta finish off the details. No game slippage.
That door is still open for Texas. Here's Bishop, up and under. Brilliant maneuver by Bishop. It's a 5-point game with $1:50 left. So much fight in this Texas team, taking the personality of its head coach, Chris Beard. It's on Bishop, and he can't believe it. Not sure if he took a shot, perhaps, to the face. I think he did. Debbie, you want to take some chances here, but just can't afford to keep putting the Boilermakers on the free throw line.
Finish on one end by Bishop, and then the foul on Bishop on the other end. Travion Williams to the free throw line. But you know what, there's a lot of fight. Like this Texas team is not giving up. Down by 14, as you mentioned, in the first half. The run that Purdue went on, and they fought back to get it to this point. This could make it a 3-possession game.
1:40 left. One thing about Texas, they have not been a good three-point shooting team, just 32% on the season.
However, they made 10 the other night, and they've made 9 tonight.
Travion Williams, a senior from Chicago, reinventing his game. Offensive star for this program the last 2 years, in a new role as the top 6 man in the Big Ten. That is Carr on a massive triple. It's a 1-possession game, and Texas just keeps coming back. Marcus Carr with 23 points. 70 seconds. Knocked out of bounds, no foul here.
I mean, you got to put the ball in Travion Williams' hands on the block. They're going to review it. It's like having an extra timeout for Chris Beard.
Told you about the relationship between these two coaches, Chris Beard, Matt Painter. Their recent history against one another in the tournament. Came of age, came up through the coaching ranks together. Similar paths. Debbie Beard under Bobby Knight, Painter, of course, under Gene Cady before their career paths took some different turns. Another look at the replay. Who touched it last? Call on the floor is that it is Purdue basketball.
Yeah, it looks to me like it goes off the hand of Bishop.
And some nervous moments for fans of these two programs. Those Chris Beard's daughters. Let's bring in Gene's territory. Gene, what do you see on this?
Yes, Bear, I agree with Deb on the play. It looks like Bishop's hand gets in there, and you can see his right hand in kind of the right pinky as he reaches across. Right here, you've got a touch, and then you've got that touch on that right pinky is the last hand that I see touching that before it goes out of bounds.
All right, so Gene has weighed in. Debbie, some of these fans can't bear to watch.
What a game.
I was just going to say, if you're a fan of the sport, can't ask for anything more.
I mean,
everything on the line. Something that these players have dreamt about since they were little kids. One win away from a trip to Philly and the Sweet 16.
It's been a hard-fought game. Nothing has been easy. Both teams have given incredible effort. Neither coach could ask for more from their players. But I think Travion Williams right now needs to get a touch right here. You could throw a direct pass into him in the post, should it be Purdue's ball. That was what was scored on the floor.
Timeout situation as we continue to take a look. 3 left for Purdue, 1 left for Texas. Boilermakers are in the double bonus. Texas, meantime, is in the bonus. 1-1 for them from this point on.
Ooh,
not going to get much of a better look. Gene, anything more?
You know, I think the other thing we look at is watch Bishop's right foot, who is out of bounds. When that foot lands out of bounds, if he's in contact with the basketball at that time, they may be trying to pull back and look at an angle of that as well, because his right foot is clearly out of bounds when he is kind of dragging that right hand. So continue to watch that right foot, and then when it hits out of bounds, if he's in contact with that basketball, then it would be dead automatically and out of bounds on him for that reason as well.
All right, Gene covering all angles. It was hard to see Bishop's hand from that angle as his foot touched the sideline, but a very lengthy review. Obviously, the officials want to get this right. This could be the difference in the game, where this call comes down.
I like what Gene said about his foot being out of bounds in contact with the ball.
The officials continuing to ask for some replay angles. Now you can see them having a conversation with the scorekeepers there.
They're also looking at the time while they're over there.
All right, so the call has been confirmed, and it will be Purdue basketball. .111 left. Purdue with possession and a 3-point lead.
Yeah, I'd dive Travion to the block, see if you can get him a touch right now.
See that St. Peter's awaits in the Sweet 16. Ivy's gonna launch, and he buries it. Jaden Ivey taking Texas's heart. Do the Longhorns have one more push?
Morton has been terrific defensively here with one mistake on fouling a three-point shooter as Ivey knocks it down from deep. He drives Ramey back, pulls it back, and sticks it from three-point range.
The jaw-dropping talent of Jaden Ivey, 18 points.
Yeah,
as the officials now going back to the replay monitor to determine here. Debbie, from that vantage point, looked like Jones touched it last. You see the deflection by Morton and then off the right fingertip of Jones.
You're going to look at the stat sheet tomorrow on Ethan Morton's line, and it's not going to be overly impressive, although he does have 8 points. And he's 2 for 2 outside the three-point line. But his defensive effort in the second half, trying to take away that right hand of Marcus Carr. He's been fantastic in the second half. I bet Matt Painter, it's one of the first things he mentions in the postgame should they win.
Call on the floor is that it is Purdue basketball. But the Jaden Ivey triple has made it a 6-point game with 49.8 seconds left here in Milwaukee.
Trap, steal, run and jump. Try to get a possession of the basketball and turn them over. As Purdue will keep possession. And then you got a foul.
One more look at it. Debbie, what about some defensive strategy here for Texas? What do you do?
First of all, Purdue goes small, puts a small lineup on the floor to handle. And it's what I said. It's a trap, it's a steal. It's a 2-possession game.
Stefanovic inbounds to Hunter.
Once you get across midcourt, that's when you might look to foul.
Gillis back to Hunter, and now Bishop will take it.
You trap, you try to get the steal, you try to get the 10-second count. It comes across midcourt.
39 seconds. Jones back in for Bishop. These Purdue fans now starting to taste it. Just think about the astounding consistency of this program. 24 Big Ten regular season titles, most of any team in that conference, but no national championships. It's been 42 years since they've been to a Final Four, Is this the year? Is this the team finally for Purdue?
Like we said earlier, the 1 seed and the 2 seed are out of this bracket in the Midwest.
Hunter hits both. And now Texas in a world of trouble. Carr, the turnover. Boy, what a play by Ramey to keep it alive. Feppers on a 3, no. Stefanovic. 22 seconds, Stefanovic hounded. And a foul. And now the celebration beginning behind their bench. A Purdue team that had all the expectations coming into the season. Got their first ever #1 ranking in the AP poll, top 10 all year. And as Matt Painter told us, as you see the free throw record tonight, school record in the tournament, as Matt Painter said, every box is checked. Dynamic lead guard, offensive efficiency. But he said, will we be good enough defensively? Tonight they had to rough it up with this junkyard dog team in Texas. And they had the fight, and they had too much down the stretch. Ivy's gonna run it out, and it is over. Purdue is indeed for real. The Boilermakers have punched their ticket to Philadelphia and the Sweet 16, where the Cinderella Peacocks of St. Peter's await. Travion Williams was masterful. And Jaden Ivey, that incredible offensive dynamism was just too much for Texas. What an effort by Marcus Carr, who left everything he had with the rest of his Longhorns. There's your final, a 10-point finish. We'll come back at some final thoughts on TNT. What a finish here in Milwaukee. The Purdue Boilermakers are moving on to the Sweet 16. AJ Ross standing by with the winning coach, Matt Painter.
That's right, Coach. Your big three, Jaden Ivey, Trevion Williams, Zach Edey, have been averaging 43 points per game, but when it mattered most, they stepped up tonight for a combined 51 points.
Right.
Talk about their performance.
Well, we thought we had a real advantage, obviously, on the interior, and just getting the ball there. I think Travion made some great plays. Zach did some good things. Jaden obviously made some huge shots. But this was a team effort. I thought our guys did a great job of just attacking them, especially when we got into the bonus.
Chris Beard had your number twice before in this tournament in 2016 and 2018, but not tonight. Yeah. How sweet is this going to your 6th Sweet 16?
Well, just happy for our players, man. We've worked really hard to get to this point, and Chris Beard's a phenomenal coach and very tough to go against. Great defensive coach and really put you in binds. But I thought our guys really adjusted, and it's good. But like everybody who's going to be in the Sweet 16 is obviously going to be really, really good, and we got to get prepared. And
on deck, you have this year's Cinderella team, St. Peter's. Yeah. What lessons did your team learn last year with North Texas in not underestimating a team like this?
Well, everybody in the tournament's good, especially when you get like into the Sweet 16 right now, and St. Peter's is a great team. Shaheen Holloway's done a phenomenal job, and those guys are gritty and they're tough, and they're going to come at you for 40 minutes. And so we're going to enjoy this, then we're going to get prepared for them.
Great win, Coach. Congrats.
All right, thank you.
All right, AJ, great stuff. What a moment for Matt Painter. They are moving on. This sensational season by the Boilermakers will roll into Philadelphia, where they will meet Shaheen Holloway and St. Peter's. Special thanks to our amazing crew, our producer Steve McKee, the birthday boy, our director Jim Cornell, Steve Murphy, Kit J. Theano, Ryan Pavlicek, and Megan Gonzalez. What a job by them behind the scenes. Now for Deb Antonelli, AJ Ross, Spiro Ditas saying so long from Milwaukee. You can tune into TBS now for TCU and Arizona. You've been watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.